What is up, everybody? My name is Joe, and I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. So here we are. So who am I, and what do I know? Well, I run a sports memorabilia business. I've been doing it now for about 3 years. I've been collecting cards since I was a little kid, probably 93, 4-ish is when I was introduced and started collecting. And I've been collecting pretty much ever since. So I've been doing this a long time. I've seen a lot of stuff. So I feel like I bring some experience and some value to the table, and hopefully I can share that with you all. And hopefully y'all can help me and share some things with me as well. Um, I actually run a break room on Facebook as well, and that's where I do a lot of memorabilia. So like things like these football helmets behind me are an example, the frame, jersey, things like that. But my passion is cards. So although I run a break room on Facebook and do memorabilia, my passion for my personal collection is cards. As you can see, I've got this case here. I've got the one that I built many years ago as a kid. As I don't even know why I still have that, but anyway, it's there. And then a couple behind me above my head, and I got a few others in the room. And as I go down, as you go down the stairs. So I've got some stuff, and so my thing here was to start a YouTube channel and kind of share my experience, give you guys some value, share things that I have that I'm going through, that I'm doing. I also do thrift store stuff, so I figured this would be maybe a good avenue to show some thrifting and some things that we get and how I do some things. Excuse me, when it comes to thrifting, purchasing, buying, selling, and how we do things, and maybe it can help some folks out, especially now with the way things are. So, and I've been doing that for about 4-ish years now. Just a backstory, since this is going to be my, I guess, kind of my introduction. I wasn't planning. I don't really have a plan here. I'm just doing whatever. So we'll see how this all shakes and how this lands. But I worked at AT&T. Went to started working there. Well, it doesn't matter. I worked there for about 11 years and did a lot of stuff, experienced a lot of things. Was a manager there for several years, so got a lot of experience in customer service and technical stuff. And so anyway, that's kind of out of college. That's kind of what I went into and what I did. But cards have always been my passion and memorabilia. So that's always there's always dollars allocated going to cards and things like that. So along throughout the years. So anyway, obviously the last 2-3 years have been crazy. Card market's been nuts. Things are just it's insane. Uh, so I'm in it, for my personal collection. I've been the guy that's held stuff. It's going to be worth money 50 years from now, kind of guy. And I've seen that's not always the case. And so there's some, hopefully, some experience I can share there on how I view things. And I'm no expert again, so I'm just giving my personal experience and my personal testimony as I build this channel out. And we'll see things and go through things. And what made me decide to do this, I've been going through cards for the past 2 weeks now in my collection, little by little. And I'll eventually get to all this stuff and show things on camera. Some of the other things that I have that are more bigger items that I've collected over the years and or have purchased, maybe more recently to flip, because I've turned into the guy that's maybe more on a short term, year or two scale now, as well as having things that are going to be the longer haul or the longer hold. So my mindset's definitely changed there, and I'd like to share that to folks, and hopefully that can help you all that are newer in the hobby, that have just jumped in over the last few years, that I can maybe give you some insight. So to start, I'll stop rambling. We'll start with. I recently have gone through a lot of cards that are lower end cards, things that have been sitting in top loaders that back when I was a kid, or even up until maybe 10 years ago or so, that I shuffled around, reorganized, you know, filter through, sift through, and you know, these are things that were all left over. So things that have already kind of been cherry picked, gone through, things that I thought would be valuable, things that I thought, you know, needed to be graded, blah blah blah, have already been pulled out. So this is all stuff. I've got, what is it, 5,000 count boxes, or six 5,000 count boxes sitting with a lot of stuff that I decided, you know what, it's time to go through it again, and why not share it as I'm going through it. So to give you a little backstory, that's where I'm at. So this stuff is stuff that I have filtered again. Only about probably 10%, 15% so far I've gone through, but I've filtered through it again, recomp stuff on eBay. So I'll show you guys in other videos how I do that, and I'm not high tech, so it's gonna be real low tech, but it's still I think you guys will get some value out of how I do stuff and how I operate, at least. And so these are cards that I've comped already, you know. So I've pulled cards out of that 10% I've already talked about and filtered through again. I've pulled cards out that I thought may be something now, especially if they're graded, and put them to the side. And I've looked all those up on eBay, and I've now pulled those to the side, the ones that I may decide at some point to get graded down the road, and the rest have gone back into the pile, into those 5,000 count boxes that will sit for, I don't know, another 5-10 years, who knows. But so these are the cards that I've decided to possibly at some point send to get graded, and you may have a lot of these cards, so this is something that, you know, hopefully gives you some value. You know, go through your collection. It may take you a little small time. Maybe you only have the booklets, and you go through some booklets, and you may see some of these cards, or you've got a huge collection that's ridiculous that may take you a while to go through. But there's a lot of cards now that if they're graded like a 9, 10, 9, 5, 10, I mean, you know, a card that was a common, you know, they can be worth $200, $300, $400 now. So you know, it may be worth to send them out to get graded, not so much to send them out to PSA, because they're still charging $100 a card to grade. So you do have to weigh your pros and cons on the value to sending out to allocate that money to do that, versus what you would potentially get out of it. So you'd have to weigh those things based on what you have. But essentially, Beckett just went down to $30. They've just opened up their economy again, so that's not a bad avenue for $30 a card. And there's some other guys out there, and we'll talk about those things later down the road. But let's get to showing these off, and then we'll cut this short. You know, I don't want to take up too much of your time. But so first card that I saw, or that I came through, that I, you know, may decide to get graded is going to be an Emmitt Smith 24 karat gold out of Action Packed. I think this is 94 Action Packed, the All Madden. It's out of 1750, limited, out of 1750. So pretty cool card. You know, I figured that'd be a good one, possibly a good candidate to get graded. Another one would be your medallion, Ultra Medallion, Brett Favre. So Ultra Medallion, Brett Favre. These were real limited, and you know, that gold foil from back in the 90s just didn't hold up very well, especially when you handled them, just sifting through them as kids. They just didn't hold up very well. So that's, you know, another good one, because that thing's mint. It looks great. And again, that'll be something else we go into on how I evaluate cards and things like that to send in, because even though a card is a great card, it may not be a good one to send. It may just be better off selling raw. This is a Bowman out of, I think, 98 Bowman, the 25th anniversary. This is actually limited out of 50. So it's just been sitting. Yeah, in just a minute I'll be down. Give me like 2-3 minutes.
You on the phone?
No, just give me a minute.
Oh. Were you
Yep. I got you.
What are you doing?
Nothing. No, I'm doing a video for YouTube. So anyway, see, I told you it was totally impromptu. So hopefully get a laugh there. Out of 50. So good card. You know, if that grades like a 10, you know, there's no comps on that. So I figured that'd be a good candidate to send out. Didn't even know I had this. I should have known earlier, but it's not a big card by any means, but just a Bowman Chrome Stafford, and I'm a Lions fan. I've got the whole set. Didn't even realize I had the whole set. Didn't even realize the card was in there. You know, again, nothing crazy. Bowman Aaron Rodgers. It's clean. Obviously, it's not going to come through on camera, but it's super clean, super nice card. Not super valuable, but again, probably a good one to get graded. This is something else I had no idea I had. Again, it is fun to go through your stuff when you haven't gone through it in 5 years or so. You come across, that Stafford was one, and Aaron Donald. Not out of a big set, elite, but it's out of, I think, 199. Yeah, 199 auto, just sitting in a box, a couple $100 card. I think raw, I think maybe 150 bucks, something like that when I looked it up. Graded a little bit more. Never knew this was anything until probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And again, these are things that pop up that, it's not worth anything really raw, but this is the 2000 Bowman checklist with the Tom Brady on it. I don't know why that's valuable. Obviously, I guess because of Tom Brady being on it, but I'm gonna send it out and see what happens, man. Not many comps, and it's not a big card by any means either, but it's and these are some older ones I've had. Topps Chrome out of, I think, '07. Topps Chrome. Topps Chrome has always been a solid set, and it just seems to be blown up. It's not a refractor or anything like that. It's just in great condition. Centering looks good. Same thing with this one. Another Topps Chrome. I think this is out of 2009. Oh no, it's 2005. Sorry. So just some older Brady's out of Topps Chrome. They're always solid to get graded, especially if they're in really good shape. And that one looks to be pretty spot on your centering, maybe a smidge off on your centering. So good candidate. Excuse me. Another one, another old Brady. Same thing. Out of Topps Chrome. This one was comped, I think, a couple $100 out of 10. I don't think it's gonna be close. I'll say that it'll be close. It's pretty nice. Again, I evaluated all these already. These are in my pile to possibly send out to get graded sooner than the rest. And then a triple thread, Brady, Moss, and what was it, Lawrence Maroney. So anyway, that's what I got. I've got lots more to show, so my videos will be somewhat short. I ramble a little bit, but I got so this is another box that I'm going through, that I'm adding to as I'm filtering from the 5,000 count boxes and filtering through those, and then bring those over to these to comp and look through, and then either they go back to the 5,000 count or they stay in these to maybe go out to get graded down the road. Obviously, the shit does not. It's not cheap. Excuse my French. To get stuff graded, but it is nice to have it back down to $30 a card. But just a bunch of stuff to show off. So that's stuff that I'm going to send out to get graded at some point in time. And then I got some stuff I got up on eBay I can show off too. And then I'll dive into personal collection thoughts on how I think things are and work, and how I do things with my, how I do things with my cases. How I evaluate my cards, what I think about the difference of PSA and Beckett. I mean, all the same conversations that you've had or seen, possibly. I'm going to have a lot of them, and my plan is to build this out and have a good time, and hopefully meet some cool people and give some value back to y'all. And that's all I got. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a happy Memorial Day, and more to come. Subscribe. Hey, I'm new to this, but I'm gonna look back a couple years from now and be like, that was a funny first video. Subscribe and to the channel. I don't even know how that works, but maybe y'all do. Subscribe. I should go and figure that out. And yeah, watch it, subscribe to it, share it, all that good fun stuff. Have a good rest of your day, guys.